Okay, so this is my AWS console. Okay, and first of all, select your region where you want to create your VPC. So there are lots of regions you can see: North Virginia, Ohio, North California, Oregon. I will use Singapore region for my VPC. Okay, I will create custom VPC there, and we will try to understand their components. Okay. So when you will log into your account, you'll have to access that VPC tab. Okay, just search VPC in your search bar and go with that. Okay, just select the VPC, and this is the VPC console. Okay, where you can find all those parameters like subnets, route table, internet gateway. Okay, so we will cover only these topics. There are lots of topics in this VPC, but we will cover only a few of, okay, because this is the part of your cloud practitioner course. Okay, so when you will access your VPC tab, VPC console, okay, so you will get there is one VPC is created. So this is the default VPC in Singapore region. This will help you to create virtual machines. Okay. So just click on these VPCs. So you can see there are one default VPC. Okay. And this is the part of your uh, Singapore region, and this is default created. Okay. And one more thing, if you will delete this, okay, so if you will delete using this action, you will not able to create any EC2 instance in this region. Okay, so that will be better to leave this, okay, as it is. So what you will do now, what we will do now, actually, I will create one VPC, and we will discuss about in details about their components like subnets, route table, internet gateways. Okay. So first we will create a public VPC, which VPC have internet access. Okay. Next, we will create a private VPC. That VPC will not have any internet access. And after that, we will create a hybrid VPC. That VPC will have both access, like a few part of that VPC will have internet access, and few part of that VPC will have uh, no internet access. Okay, so let's create that. First, we will create a public VPC, just like your default VPC. So what you will do now, first of all, you will have to write that the VPC name. Okay, so just write that VPC. I'm writing VPCN, and then you can write their CIDR. CIDR is means classless interdomain routing. Actually, this IP will used by your internal router, your uh, subnets. Okay, so that IP I will use 10.0.0/16. Okay, so if I will use that 16, it means I'm allocating at least approx 65,000 of IP address. Okay, and the next is just select your tab for create VPC. So this VPC is now created. but you cannot use that because this VPC have no any subnets and route tables. Okay, so next step is go to subnets and create subnets for your VPC. So what is the subnets? Okay, so when you will create any virtual machine, that virtual machine needs availability zone. Okay, data centers. So this subnet will help your VPC to connect with your availability zone. So when you will create your subnets, they will ask you to select where you want to create that subnet, in which availability zone or which data center you want to create that subnet. Okay. So in Singapore region, we have three availability zone. Okay. So if you want to create your subnet, I will suggest you to create at least two subnets in your VPC. So if you will create only one subnet, that is okay. You can create virtual machines, but that will not be highly available. Actually, if you will create your subnet, only one subnet, and you will create a virtual machine, it means you are using only one data centers. And due to any reason, if that data center will have any problem, so your virtual machine will also have some problem like performance issues, like any servers failure. So due to that reason, we are using at least two subnets, two availability zone. So at that time, uh, if any availability zone will have any problem, uh, at that time, another availability zone will help you to run your systems, to run your servers. Okay, so every time when you will create your VPC, create at least two subnets. One more thing is there actually when you will create a database server. Okay, so that database server will need at least two subnets in any VPC. So if you are creating database server and that VPC have only one subnets, one subnets means one data center. So at that time you will not able to create that database server. Okay. So due to that reason, every time when you will create your subnet, create at least two subnets in two different availability zone. Okay, not in same availability zone. So let's create that. So this is the VPC which I have just created, and write your subnet name. This is subnet 1, and select your availability zone. So I will select, there are three availability zone. You can see 1A, 1B, 1C. So I will select 1A for my first subnet, and the CIDR will be 10.0.0.0/24. Okay, and you will get a 256 IP address uh, for your subnet 1, and create subnet. So subnet 1 is created, and this subnet have a 251 available IP address. It means you can create 251 virtual machines using this subnet. Okay. Available IPv4 means this IP address is available for your virtual machines, and you can create 251 virtual machines using this subnet 1. Okay, and now create another subnet, because I told you create at least two subnet in different availability zone in any VPC. Select your VPC again, subnet to availability zone, select it to 1B and IPv4 10.0.0. 1.0/24 because 0.0 I have already used with my previous subnet. So I have used this 1.0 for subnet 2. Great. Okay. So that both subnet is now created. Okay. And the both subnet have 251 IP address available. Okay. And what is the next step? So I have created VPC, I have created the subnets, and now you'll have to attach these subnets with route tables. Okay, route table is just like a router where your subnet will be used by your VPC. Okay, so just select your route tables. So there are a default route table is created. Okay. Okay. So this is the default route table, and this is the part of your default VPC, and this one is your route table. Okay, you can see their VPC name, VPCN. So I'm just going to rename it. Okay, just VPC. Sorry, route and okay. So this default route table is the part of your default VPC, and this one is the part of your custom VPC. Okay, route N. So what you will do next? Next step is select subnet associations where you can associate your subnets with your route table. Okay, click on that subnet associations. So first select your route table, then select your subnets associations, then edit subnet associations. There are two subnets and both I will use with my uh, route table. So just select that both, okay, and save associations, okay. And after that, go back to the subnets again and enable that option, which is necessary for auto allocation of IPv4 address. So just select subnet one again, go to action, go to edit subnet settings, and here you will find enable auto assign public IPv4 address. Okay, just select that and just save your settings. And do the same with your another subnet. Action, edit subnet settings, enable, and save that. Okay, so I have created the VPC, created subnets, and that subnet added with the route tables. Okay, and the next step is you'll have to add internet gateway with your route tables. So if you have a router, you have configured your LAN, but if you want to use internet, you will have to attach internet cable with your router. So that internet gateway will do that. So just select the internet gateway and allocate that. Just create internet gateway and attach with your route tables. Okay. So that router will have internet access, and when you will create any virtual machine, using that route table or that VPC, that virtual machine will have internet also. Okay, so just create internet gateway that is now 1 minute. Okay, that is now created, and now they are asking to attach to a VPC. Just click on attach to VPC, select your VPC. You will get only that VPC which VPC does not have any internet access. So that default is not available here. Okay, so this is the VPC and attach to that. And now go back to your route table again, and you'll have to configure with your route table uh, that internet gateway. So this is the route N, and just select your route, edit route, add route, and when you will add internet gateway as a target, you'll have to select this 0000/0. That will help you your router to connect with any IP address. Okay, so if you are using internet, it means you are using connecting with any IP address. Okay, select your internet gateway and you will find that internet gateway. Okay, so this one is your internet gateway. Save that, and now your VPC is ready to use. Okay, so how you can use that? So if you want to use your VPC, just uh, go back to your instance EC2 instance tab and try to create that EC2. So I'm going back to EC2 tab. Okay, just search in EC2 and let's create EC2 instance. So I have created a custom VPC, that is VPC have internet access. Okay, and I have configured subnets. I have configured route tables, and I have added the internet gateway also. Okay, so just go to EC2 instance tab and launch your instance. Okay, just write your instance name, Windows, key pair, select your key pair. If you want to host a website, just select the HTTP and launch your instance. Okay. So these steps I have forgot to add my custom VPC. So this instance used that default VPC. I'm just going to terminate that. Just select, and I'm going to terminate because I have used the default network settings, and that will use that default VPC. Okay, let's create it again. Just launch instance. Windows, and next is key pair. And in network settings, you'll have to edit that. Just go to edit option, select your custom VPC. So this is the custom VPC, VPCN. Okay. And now there are two subnets. Okay. You can see IP address available is 251. So you can select any one of subnet. Uh, so I'm selecting subnet 1. Okay. Scroll down and select HTTP. The source type anywhere. Okay, and launch your instance. Let's check it again. The name is Windows Server. Operating system is Windows. Instance type T2 Micro. Key pair AWS key. VPC I have selected VPCN. Subnet is subnet 1. Auto assign public IP is enabled. And next is the type of firewall security group is RDP and HTTP. Okay. And today I'm just going to show you how you can create highly available web service also. Okay. So using this custom VPC, how you can create a server that highly available server. Okay. So just launch your instance. So using that VPC, I have created one uh, Windows server, and I will create one more Windows server, and I will launch a website on both of that server. But that both instance, that both virtual machine will use a different availability zone. Okay, so I have created my first Windows server on subnet 1, and the next Windows server I will create on subnet 2. Okay, and then I will attach that both instance with a load balancer, that classic load balancer, and that will be highly available. So let's create another EC2 instance now. So I'm creating another virtual machine Windows server, and key pair login. Select your key pair. In the network settings, go to edit the network settings and select your VPC now, VPCN. And for this, I will select subnet 2. Okay, so my previous instance was in subnet 1, and now this is in subnet 2. Okay, and next is select HTTP in the security group. So just select HTTP now, and in source type, select anywhere. So what is the meaning of this anywhere custom and my IP? So if you will select anywhere, it means you are allowing all the IP address to the HTTP. HTTP will allow for internet. Okay, so that's why we are using the 000. If you will select my IP, it means this is the my internet IP address, which internet I'm using. It means I'm only the person we can use their web service. Okay, I can only use that. No one can use. Okay, so if you want to make this private, okay, make this web service website private, you can use my IP at that time. But there is a problem. I'm using the internet which have dynamic IP address. Okay, so this IP is not fixed. So every time when I will connect with the internet, the IP address will be changed, and I will not able to use that. Okay, so it will be better to use anywhere. Okay, so I can use and another can also use this web service. Okay, now next is just launch your instance. So this instance is now ready, that first instance, and another instance is now being ready. And you can see that both instance in different availability zones. So first in 1A and another one is in 1B. Okay, so let's connect with the Windows Server 1 and install web services on that. Okay, so let's connect with that. Go to RDP client. And if you want to download that remote desktop file, you can download it, and that will help you to connect. Asking for the password, just scroll down and get your password. That AWS key will be used. AWS key.pem. Decrypt that. Copy your password and paste it. Okay, so let's install web services. Go to Server Manager now. and wait for a few minutes. They are scanning for install and uninstall services. Okay, let's go with the that option, add roles and features. Server selection, server roles, and select web server IIS, add features, and install that. Okay, so installation succeeded. Now close this. I'm going to minimize this instance, copy their IP address, and check uh, that web server is working or not. So this is the Windows Server 1. This is the IP address, and paste on your browser and check that. Okay, that is working. Now let's go back to Windows Server 2 and do that same things there. Just connect, TP client, remote desktop file, connect, decrypt their password. Okay, Okay, so let's install that web server again. So what I'm doing today I have created one custom VPC. That VPC have internet access, okay? And now I'm creating highly available web service, okay, using that VPC, that custom VPC. Highly available means if any one of instance will be terminated or that will be out of order, your web service will not be terminated. That will work. Okay. Now wait for more few minutes. Okay. Now let's minimize this instance. Copy their IP address and check. Okay, so you can see that my both instance is now working with their web service. Okay, and now what you will do, how you can make that highly available. So uh, if you are hosting a website, what you will do at that time, you will get a domain name for your server. Like this instance have a IP address, okay, and this instance also have the IP address. But you cannot use that both IP with a single domain name. Okay, so both are available to use, but how your user will access that both instance. So this is not possible. For that purpose, if you want to solve that things, if you want to use that both instance with a single domain name, you will have to use a classic load balancer for that. Okay, so let's create that. Just go back to EC2 instance tab and just select the load balancers. create load balancer, scroll down, and here you will get the classic load balancer, that previous generation load balancer, and create that. And that will support HTTP, HTTPS, TCP, and SSL all. So create that. Just write your load balancer name. So I'm writing it to CLB, and this will be internet facing because I'm creating a public load balancer. Okay, select your VPC, VPCN. Okay, and that VPC have two availability zones enabled. So select that both. Okay, and just scroll down and create your load balancer. Wait a minute. Okay, and next step is select your load balancer again and select your target instances, manage instances, and you will find that both instance there. Select that both because I want to add that both instance with my classic load balancer and save changes. Okay, now go back to your load balancer again and wait for the status. So you can see that 0 out of 2 instances in service. I have added the 2 instances, but only there is no instance in service, so you'll have to wait for a few minutes. And then when that will be ready to use, we will use their domain name. Okay, this is the DNS name, and that will be used by your highly available web server. So just wait for a few minutes. So if the status is not coming in service, so you can go with the listeners, manage listeners, and you can change it to TCP. Okay, Now save, go back to load balancer and wait for more few minutes. There something we are missing. Actually, we are using that load balancer with the default security group. So let's change their settings. Actually, when you are creating your VPC first time, their default security group is blocked for all type of access. Okay, so you'll have to uh, change that. Just select that. This is the security group. I will edit that. Edit inbound rules. You can see this is not enabled. Delete that. Add rules. HTTP anywhere. Save. Now go back. Let's check it again. I think I have missing something. Hmm. Okay. There is some problem. Actually, I got it. that being they are searching for the index.html, and I have not created any index.html in this instance. Okay, so that was my mistake. Let's go back. Okay, and just inetpub. They are searching for index.html. Okay, but there is no any index.html created. So just create that. Let's go text document uh, and just open. I'm writing welcome to my website. Okay, that was my mistake. And create save as index.html because that CLB will search that index.html only. Okay, save that. Okay, now this is available. Do that same with another instance. Okay, okay, index.html. Okay, now let's check it again. Refresh it. Now one instance in service. Now wait. I think both will be in service. Let's check with their that is working. Welcome to my website. Welcome to my website. Okay. Okay. Now you can see the status is ready. Two out of two instances in service. Now what you will do, just copy their DNS name and paste on your browser and check that will work. Okay, I can access that. Welcome to my website. Just refresh that. Every time when you are refreshing, you can access that. So how it is highly available. So now I am going to stop one of that instance. Okay, just go back to instance now, and now I'm going to stop my first instance. Just think that that is not working. Just stop instance. Okay, and wait. Stopping. Okay, so my first instance is now stopped, and let's check that is still working. It means if you have a multiple availability zone and you have created multiple instance, it means your server is highly available. Any one of instance will get terminated or out of order. Your website will have not any problem. Okay. So what was my mistake? Actually, I was not created index.html in that server. Okay. You can see this is working now. Okay, so just try to do at your end. Okay, just wait. I am sharing.